Did you know the average amount of times that we check our phones is 221 times a day? And then we wonder why the battery dies so fast. But here's a wild stat. Up to 89% of the time we check our phones, it's typically for a mental break or between tasks or simply just out of habit. So here's the question I want to sit with today. If that's the world we're all fighting for attention in, what's actually going to cut through? Not another Instagram post, not another reel. I'm talking about the most underrated tool in your entire business, which is, drum roll please, the newsletter. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why a $1 investment in a newsletter can possibly return $40, why less but better beats going viral, and how to actually build a newsletter that people look forward to opening instead of the ones where they just scroll past in the promotions tab. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I recently read a book called Do/Open by David Hyatt, and it completely reframed how I think about this. Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, all of that, that's all great. They're all useful. But here's the thing none of them can do. They can't gather your people into one specific place and let you have a slower, deeper conversation with them. Social media is a rented room. Your email list is a home you own. And the numbers back this up. According to a 2014 McKinsey study, for every $1 you put into email marketing, you get back roughly $40. Now compare that to almost any other channel, right? Facebook ads, Instagram ads, nothing else really touches that return. But the catch is your biggest competitor isn't another brand. It's genuinely the fact that people are busy. People are exhausted, overstimulated, and drowning in things asking for their attention constantly. So if you're going to earn a spot in someone's inbox, it can't just be good. It has to be great. It has to be genuinely worth their time. Let's talk about the psychology of a great newsletter. Now, here's the truth nobody tells you. Most newsletters are just ads in disguise, right? Almost every email someone gets this week is probably going to ask them to buy something. It's gonna probably ask them to click something, to give something up, and the list goes on. But imagine being the one newsletter that doesn't do that. The one that just gives, right? Something useful, something inspiring, some interesting piece of the world that they didn't have before. That newsletter, that is the one that stands out instantly because it's rare, especially today. Think of your newsletter less like a marketing channel and more like a relationship. And the best relationships, the ones that actually last, are the ones where both people are getting something out of it. There's a concept in social psychology called the law of reciprocity, which we've probably heard before, right? We are typically hardwired to help the people who help us first. It's baked into just being a human being. So if your strategy is give, ask, you're not manipulating anyone. You're just tapping into something that's real. And honestly, you should be doing this because you actually believe in it, not because it's a growth hack, okay? There's a huge difference and people can typically tell that difference. A great newsletter shares how you think about the world, not just what you're selling in it. Nobody wants to sit next to the person at the dinner party who is only talking about themselves all night long. So don't be that newsletter, okay? Now let's talk about design because design is a language, okay? Design says something even when your words don't. Your typography says something. Your layout says something. Heck, your photos say something as well. All of it is communicating who you are before someone reads a single sentence of that newsletter. So before you start, you need to ask yourself, what do you want it to say? Do you want your tone of voice to be fun, to be serious, premium, innovative? Your brand tone has to show up consistently with every single send, so people start to recognize you the second it lands. And practically designed for mobile first, okay? Because that's where most people are actually reading anyway, right? And the simpler and cleaner you keep it, the more timeless it becomes. If you're just starting out, something like MailChimp is a great low-lift way to get real templates up fast. And as you grow, you can start segmenting. So you can start building specific newsletters for specific groups of your audience instead of one blast to everyone. But that only comes after you truly understand your audience. Next up, build a community, not a list. Now, this is a mindset shift that changed everything for me. Stop trying to build a list. Start trying to build a community instead. The difference is a list is just an inbox address, but a community, that feels something. They reply, you reply back. There's actually dialogue potentially happening there. And that takes a lot of effort, right? But it's not as complicated as we try to make it seem. Reply to comments, start conversations, show people that you actually care. And almost every time, they'll show you that they care too. It's genuinely better to have 1,000 true fans who show up for you than 10,000 people who never really open your email. Engagement beats size every single time. And here's something that might actually surprise you, okay? Unsubscribes are actually good information. As crazy as that sounds, I know it stings a little to watch that number tick down, right? When someone unsubscribes and they leave. But the truth is, they're actually telling you something. Maybe you're emailing them too much. Maybe you've drifted off from what they actually signed up for. So instead of taking these things personally, take it as feedback. Strengthen your feedback loop. Because you respect their time, you don't want to be sending something they've already told you they don't want, okay? So let them go and pour that energy and that feedback loop into the people who are still there. If you can honestly say that you tried your hardest, cared the most, and gave more value than almost anyone else in your space, that's the whole game. That is all you can do. Now I want to talk about passion, leadership, and staying interesting, okay? A newsletter hits different when it comes from real passion, point blank period. Because passion is what makes you actually dig deeper, do the work, think harder, and try things that other people just won't. And something worth remembering is this. Never in the history of the planet, okay, has it been easier to connect with people and to give them meaning and actually help them change something in their life than today. The internet gave us this insane privilege, and more than ever, we're seeing so many people craving community, right? So before you hit send on your next one, ask yourself, what connection or meaning am I actually giving these people today? This is also why you have to stay interesting as a person, not just as a brand, right? Interesting things happen to people who do interesting things. Simple. Go to events, read the weird books, listen to different music, travel, build your taste, right? Acquire that taste. All of that becomes the well that you draw from when it's time to write. And remember this. Every company today is a media company, whether it wants to be or not. Your product is only a small slice of what your audience actually cares about. So this is your sign to be eclectic, because your customers are also becoming eclectic as well. Now, this is the practical playbook, okay? Let's get tactical for a second, because I want you to actually leave this video able to do something. You have to do something today. First, figure out your goal. Newsletters generally do one of the two jobs, right? They're capturing new emails or nurturing the people already in your world. Now, you can collect emails at checkout through a partnership or paid social push, or with the opt-in offer that you typically have on your website, right? So something like maybe a discount in exchange for people signing up. And now for the nurturing emails, that's like, your digests, your exclusive information, maybe even birthday offers or special invites, right? So that's all about keeping the relationship warm with people who already know you. One thing you need to understand is your socials, your Instagram, your TikTok, your website, all of that. You need to think of all of these things as roads that actually lead to somewhere more permanent. That inbox is the one platform you actually own. That is the permanent place, right? You need to consider this even in regards to how you create content for your socials. Next thing, nail your hook. Okay, your subject line is everything. It determines your open rate before anyone even sees the body and the main context of the email. And the data is clear. The more emotional the headline is, the more opens you're gonna get. The more clicks, the more shares, right? And then another thing is measure, don't guess. Track your open rates, your click-throughs. A healthy open rate, I think, is usually about 15 to 25%. So if you're within that range, then you know that you're doing well. And make sure you're A/B testing, but you can do this later once you have a rhythm. So don't think about doing this on day one whilst you're still trying to find your voice. And finally, find your actual voice, okay? Be funny if you're funny, right? Be direct if that's you. One thing to remember is humor is quite human. The goal isn't to sound like every other newsletter. It's to sound like the only version of you that exists. Whatever platform you use, Substack, MailChimp, Klaviyo, the list goes on, the tool matters way less than the consistency and the care that you put behind it. Listen, man, at the end of the day, most founders pour all their energy into social posts and paid ads while completely ignoring the people who already raised their hand and gave you their email. Okay? When you think about it that way, that's honestly backwards. I'll tell you the truth. And I had to learn that the hard way. I crazily neglected newsletters so much at the beginning of my business, and honestly, I don't want you making that same mistake with your own community, okay? Those people already chose you once, so you need to talk to them with that in mind. With over 4 billion email users worldwide, this is still one of the biggest opportunities sitting in front of you today. And it's the one channel that no algorithm can ever take away from you. So lean into newsletters. Well, if you enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend who's building something incredible that needs to hear this. If you don't know, I post weekly videos here talking about all things at the intersection of creativity and business. And as I always say to my lovely watchers, you are built different, built to last. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.